Hi there. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Code Gonyo. So let's get to continue our discussion. So this time we're going to discuss about matrix operations. So particularly, we are going to discuss about matrix addition, and we do the same for subtraction. And we are also going to discuss about scalar multiplication and matrix multiplication. So let's start with matrix addition. So matrix addition, if you have two or more matrices, and let's say A and B, and if in order for us to add the two matrices, these two matrices must have the same number of rows, and it must have also the same number of column, although the elements are not the same, or the containing elements are not the same. So shall we say we have here two matrices for A, 7 and 3, with the elements 7, 3, negative 8 and 2. And then they have also another matrix, 5 and 2, and then 6 and 8 for B. So let's say for an instance, we are going to add these two matrices. So in order for us to add two matrices, we'll need to follow a certain algorithm. First is we need to um, add the we need to add the first the elements of the first matrix. The first row of the first matrix must be added in the first row of the second uh, matrix. So with that, having said that, we are now going to perform. First is 7 and 5. So 7 and 5 will be added. This will yield us to 12. And then next value or element is 3, which is it is at index 0 and column 1. And then in the second matrix, we have also 2, which is at index 0 and column 1. So we're going to add these two elements, so 3 and 2. This will result to 5. And then we have here negative 8 to 6, which is the second row now, will be as if it's added. So negative 6 plus negative 8 rather plus positive 6 is negative 2. And then we'll have the last element, 2 and 8. So 2 plus 8 will yield to 10. So this time we're going to implement it in a program. So how do we do that? So let's go back and visit our program. So we already have the is equal. This is to test either the uh, if both matrices are equal. But yeah, so then we also have here the display. Later on, we're going to be using those. So first is we'll need to um, create a method, let's say public string add, and then this will return a string, obviously. So for now, let's have the hold to give us the series of numbers and in our array. So let's have here like this. So return, so wait, return hold. Okay, so after that, we're going to add the elements. So upon adding it, as it was mentioned earlier that the two matrices must have the same number of rows and the same number of columns. Well, we do have already a method that does that. However, it has its containing condition, which is the elements must be the same. So in adding it's not necessary, or in adding two matrices, it's not actually necessary. But before that, let's have first muna adding these two elements. So let's say we have here val. Okay, let's say here val. Let's just copy paste this one before we'll do a certain, or we are go before we'll implement the conditions. So here we're going to have loops. So okay, I'm just going to copy this one. I guess we can yeah, sige. Let's diretso na lang. And I is equal to 0. And then after that, let's have I is less than val that the length. Okay. And then let's have uh, I plus plus. And then this is our outer loop. So let's put here outer loop. Okay. So oops, wait for a while. Let's have here inner loop. Okay. So let's change this to J. This is J. Now this time this should be in the index here. And then let's have here J. There. So after that one, we are going to be needing some variables to sum to the two matrices. And then, yeah, I guess that's it. Now let's have here sum. Sum is equal to the value. So first is I and J. And then let's have also get the sum. The partner, the next matrix would be num, and then let's have here I, and then J. So in order for us to get this, we already get the sum of the a certain row of the two matrices. Now, uh, how do we add the another two matrices? So in order for us to do that, we'll need to reset the sum to 0 so that there is also we can use sum for another elements in the matrices to be added uh, later. Okay, so we need to do that, and then so we're going to use the hold. So we're gonna be needing another third-party variable for this. Let's name it as a string because the hold will um, concatenate the final value being added. So meaning to say, because we have here 7 plus 3, so 7 plus 3 is actually 12. 7 plus 5, sorry, is actually 12. And then we are going to store it to str first, and then 3 plus 5 also. We're going to store it to str. And then right after the loop, we're going to put it in the hold and then reset the str back to uh, empty. Okay, so we'll need to do that. Otherwise, all the result will be concatenated to hold, and we can, and of course, those are not necessary anymore. So we'll need to uh, get the str. So str plus equals to the sum. Okay, and then let's have here sum of the first two let's say first rows, now first two rows of the two or both matrices. Okay, so now that we have already the str, after that one, we're going to go outside of that inner loop, and here we are going to add the str or concatenate the str. So upon concatenating, we're going to have backslash n so that the next elements or the next row of both matrices will be displayed or put in the next line. So right after that one, we're going to reset the str. So we're going to use the str to store the the first the first row, the second row, third row, if ever there are like series of rows. Okay, and yeah, I guess this one is I guess good. So let's try to check our result. We have here and so let's display the two elements. Yeah, let's ano muna. Let's try to see if this one is working. So we have here math.add. Okay, so we have oops backslash n. So I guess that's we cannot confirm So the values 6, 10, 14, 18. I mean, these elements are the added or the result upon adding the two matrices. So we can confirm by adding 3 and 3 first, which is actually 6. 5 and 5 is 10. 7 and 7 is 14. 9 and 9 is actually 18. And then 4 and 4 is 8, 10 and 10 is 20, 8 and 8 is 16, 6 and 6 is 12, and then you have 2 and 2, 4, 3 and 3, 6, 4 and 4, 8, and 15 and 15 is 30. Okay, so now let's display our, since we have already the display method, so let's have here, let's display here the display, let's display the val, okay. And then let's have here something like add plus math dot display num. Okay, and then so oops, what happened? Wait for a while. Let's go back to display, all display. Okay, so we'll need to, so what happened? This is math dot display val. Okay, math dot display n. So why it's not displaying? Because, okay, I'm so sorry because we haven't put here the this whole plus equals to backslash n. And then right after that one, we are going to put here like equals. So we have here, uh, wait, backslash, so so we have here, wait. Let's have here backslash n. Okay, so I guess it's okay na. Then, yeah, so plus, so this is the result. Now, how about we are going to, like for an instance, we want to, let's say, add this one. So 7, 3, 8, negative 8, and 2. So let's change this to 7 and 3. And then next is negative 8 and 2. Negative 8 and 2. Okay, so let's remove all these remaining elements there. And oops. Okay, and then let's also have here 5, 2, 6, and 8. So this is now not 3 by 4. Oops, we have 5, 2, sorry, 5, 2, and then let's have, oops, 6 and 8. Was that 6 and 8? Yes, 5, 2, 6, and 8. And then let's remove this there. So let's try to see if we are correct. So the output should be 12, 5, negative 2, and 10. So we have here 12, 5, negative 2, and 10. We are actually correct. Now, how about if we are going to do some like conditions? So we can actually use this condition right here. Okay, like of course we want to know if both are has the same or both have the same rows and columns. We have to validate it. So how do we do that? So you can actually, if you're going to use if is equal, okay, like if is equal, we can actually use this one. So meaning the conditions are like what we call this one, both have the same number of rows and column. However, in the equals kasi, we have also included here that both elements in the matrices are or must be the same. So therefore, if we're going to use that, we are going to probably have like, sorry, uh, inaccurate result, or probably we don't have like something on output, because again this will give us like a false, because this, or the elements the elements in both matrices are actually not the same. So how do we convert this into, so we can actually go directly, we can, there are actually a lot of ways. You can take this one out and transfer it to another method, but it will take some time. And the another way could be pwedeng the easiest way or the efficient way na pwedeng gawin natin dito is would be val dot length equals to num dot length, and val 0 dot length equals to num 0 dot, sorry, dot length. So if otherwise it's they are not of the same, like for an instance they don't have uh, the same value, then therefore I not the same rows and columns, I mean not equal. So we could have here rows and columns are not the same, something like that. So let's try to run. So since it's correct, and then let's say for an instance we have here 4, and let's have here 6. Let's try. So rows and columns are not the same. So again, as I've told you, you can actually you can take this one out and create another method or something like so that you're able to reuse this one or this method right here. Okay, so that we don't have to do this anymore. And then once you have this one separated already, you can use this is equal something here. And then in the another method, you can have is equal if it's true, and then you copy this code and then you execute something like that. So pwede niyong gawin yan, no? So I guess that is it for adding of matrices. So thank you guys for watching this video. Have a great day and see you guys later. I mean, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.